a large team game on a free-for-all map that can only result in shenanigans. And also, who keeps control over the top area? That is of course also going to be important, because there are a lot of maxes there. It is a, well, free-for-all match, or like free-for-all map. It is Pentos, because there are of course 5 little islands. Well, not little islands, but like 5 big islands, I guess. Well, where the starting positions are. We've got, over on the eastern time, we've got quite a lot of factories, of course. I mean, it's a large team game. I don't really think it's worth to go over all of them, but we've got and ships in the sea over there. More ships all around, with a hover platform in the middle. Spiders to climb the hills are, however, going to have a bit of a struggle, most likely with the water, because especially spiders don't like to go into the water, even though it's only minus 16 elevation. So it's not very deep, but it's still not exactly the easiest for them. Also to consider, you can run around the sides with land units. Just like the middle, that is possible for, well, yeah, land units in general. Rovers, hovers, well, hovers of course, I mean they're semi-amphibious as well. But yeah, even spiders and such can go along the sides. So even though we mostly see naval or empods on the sides, other units can also go there. It's just a lot harder for them to really escape, because they can't easily path away from the fight. Over here, hunters already getting blasted by blast wings. Oh, that doesn't seem like a very good trade-off. I was like, well, yeah, you're doing very nice there over there. Very good. Still technically a good fight for them. For Team West. But yeah, wasting a lot of blast wings there. You only needed like 3 or 4. But suddenly all of them going down in the same explosion. Not really what you want. Over on the northern side, well, yeah, solo push, alright, sure. I mean, we got double recon on this side, with a tank factory, most importantly, with an ogre. Ogre, really strong unit normally, but Blastwings already destroying 1 and 2 commanders. 1 commander for Team West going down as well, but the other one still alive. Sad. Factory not yet placed by that one. The one that went down did place its factory. And factory for Team East will be destroyed as well. 1 player already dead. Definitely not very nice for Team East. Though, it is not the highest level player, so it's probably even a good thing, technically. Still, not really something you would like to see. But yeah, losing that top area, that is going to hurt them quite a lot. 7 more maxes there. Controlling these maxes is also a lot easier if you have the island itself under control. So that would turn 7 maxes into 9. Which means that, well, as a result of that, yeah, the middle area should really be under control for Team East. Because that would give them another 5 maxes as well. All of them 2.0, so it's not really as if the specific max you have under control matters. But yeah, already getting a lot of reclaim there. How much is there? Still, like 2,000, 2,200. So a lot of reclaim, especially early on. That much reclaim is going to matter. And of course, getting all of those maxes. On this map there are also quite a couple of geothermals available. Each one of the big islands has a geothermal vent. And between those big islands there are also some more. Meaning that there are a total of 10 geothermals on this map. Multiples already going up. This is weird. I mean, you might try to time it perfectly. And I mean, you kind of do. Blast Wings don't have a lot of HP. But still, none of them really going down. At least not going down before they hit the enemy. Commander, underwater, so does put out the fire. 400 HP only. But the fungal mayhem will survive, because Mistrals as well, not able to hit submerged targets. And Blastwings also not exactly used, or like designed to do that. Not exactly good for that. So Commander barely, but does stay up. This time around, another Inferno being shot at the enemy base. I mean, you will snipe a couple of maxes. 3 maxes will go down. Factory itself will not. But you're still taking down like 6 eco, disrupting a little bit of overdrive. Still, I don't think it's worth 600 investment. And especially because this one is only going to snipe 2 maxes. Maybe the Caretaker as well, if you're lucky. But yeah. 260 destroyed, while spending 600 on the missile itself. So not exactly worth it. Even if you consider the fact that, well, you do have a little bit of a potential eco loss and all that. There are commanders close by, so they should be able to build them back up quickly. And they are now trying to do that. Alright. Well, next. Missile. Another Inferno getting shot into the front lines. This time around you will also take down a couple of pickets. So that's another 200 additional value. Maxes, of course, also going to go down. Still though, you don't destroy a whole lot. It's more just an annoyance. I don't think it's worth it. I still don't think so. No. At least it doesn't seem worth it. In the sea down south, well, a couple of Sirens are being used by Team West. Units that are in a 1v1, even just called resignable if you build them. But for now, holding the position decently. I mean, moving back, but there is nothing you can really gain in this specific area. So moving back just a little bit doesn't really cost you anything. You're not giving up any map control in terms of maxes, geothermals, anything like that. And the envoy there, just for some nice little splash damage, long range. But you do need to watch out for those scallops. Those could quite quickly snipe your envoy. But of course that's what your silence are for. To defend your envoy. How about up north? Well, similar thing happening there. Couple of urchins for Team West. With Siren and envoy. But there are a lot more forces there for Team East. So those should be able to, well, take the position. Do they have anything that's... Yeah, they do have a couple of hovers, of course. I was like, do they have anything that can really push onto land? Not really. I mean, you've got a couple of hovers, but not that many at the same time. There aren't any defenses there on land, so you could. But yeah, the most important issue for Team East at least. Middle area, not under control. Top area, also not under control. So their eco should be worse. With that higher energy income though, then investing a lot more into overdrive. So it's actually not the case. Still, the potential eco for Team West is a lot higher. Maxes on their side are linked up pretty well. Not all of them are, but most certainly are. Are the geothermals also being upgraded? The answer seems to be no. Is anything being upgraded? Yes, there is one max that is being upgraded. Or being built. That's the other option. Not really sure. Let's see. This one, over here, is being upgraded. Alright. How much further? 50% about. So yeah, we'll still take a minute or so before it goes up. Especially because, probably a little bit more because it's not being invested into a whole lot. Still, if that, or when that goes up, their overdrive should certainly be a lot better than that from the enemy. What's that energy grid looking like though? Yeah, they haven't really linked it up perfectly. This is still not connected to this section, nor to that section. At least doesn't seem like it is. And down south, I mean, that's a lot of units there for Team East suddenly. Seawolves, not exactly amazing. I mean, not in when they have to face off against Hunter and Siren and all that. Things that are able to shoot at them. And other than that, yeah, they've got artillery in Lance and Envoy, but not a whole lot else. Envoy, really nice to snipe Lance with. Lance are not exactly known for their speed, nor for their HP. And Lance getting cleaned up. 1100 value destroyed just like that. Also, Geothermal is in a little bit of a hole. Not sure if an Envoy would be able to kill that if it's manually fired. Don't think so. But still, Scallops, couple of M-pods can either be lobbed in there or just walk up the hill and will then be able to clean it up. Up north, well, the push from Team East has been stopped a little bit. That also means there is a lot of reclaim. Well, by now there is only 500 reclaim, because they're actively reclaiming it. But there was quite a lot of reclaim there, that these Marines are not getting. Trinity, it was scouted. Now about halfway done. So we'll take quite a couple more minutes before it actually does any damage. Or at least could do any damage. What are you ing? Oh well, you've got a missile silo with heals right there. No real shielding around the Trinity. And stunning! It is stunning indeed. Scallops with their shotguns don't move forwards, because then you lose HP. Oh well. Managing to snipe the commander. What do they have in response? Well, 2 Ronins and a couple of artillery units. In other words, they don't have anything. So yeah, this base pretty much completely lost. And there isn't currently nothing that can really take it back. So that is 5,000 reclaim. And now 3 bases that should be under control for Team East. So that should once again increase their eco by quite a lot. Especially because we've already seen them link up their grids very nicely. So they should be able to take advantage of it. Which the enemy team is not really doing. I mean, Geothermal is upgraded, but it's still not really overrunning everything. Let me just check though. Yeah, you're investing about half of your grid into it. So it's probably not that bad. You're probably not exactly losing a lot of efficiency there. And well, there we go. The Shockley. Oh, I mean, you do still take it down. So that's good. Definitely worth it. 6,100 value destroyed. While only, of course, spending like 4 missiles. So that's like 2,400. So still going about 2 to 1 there. Over here now, on the western side, very good push from Team East, you would say. But the Scallops underwater are not really able to do all that much damage. So it's mostly the ships that have to do the damage. Still, Geothermal, exposed. So it would be a good target for your envoys. Currently though, not actually shooting at them. Because, yeah, apparently you don't really have the radar. It's not the easiest map to get good radar on. I mean, these hills are very easy to get create radar shadows. But still, this area should really be, well, covered with a little bit of radar at least. Because then you would at least know they have the geothermal up and you could snipe it. Otherwise you would have to manually fire at it, which is of course also an option. But they're currently not doing that. Scallops not exactly the most useful right now. Not shielded because they're underwater. So they're just getting pummeled by those envoys and actually just going down. You know, well, you've got a good number of scallops. So even though their underwater weapon is awful, still able to take down one sea wolf at least. And then could float up to the surface and use their shotgun against the siren. In which case, well, they're not that bad. Still, they do get, well, semi-outranged by the weapon on the siren, the sonic blaster. And, well, someone is once again using Infernos to take down effectively nothing. Because the Razor is not going down, Commander is not going down either. Or at least they shouldn't go down. Don't really see a world in which they do go down. At least not through the Infernos. And over here, well, once again, silo being reclaimed a little bit. But if you do get either a lobster here or you just blast the commander with your envoys, it will soon all go down. Commander can't really escape. I mean, it can't run, because then it will engage against those ducks. Which is not exactly a favorable engagement for the commander. Of course, even in the water, ducks can still just fight back. So goodbye. Commander going down. Position lost. Silo lost. Commander lost. But still, it's not that bad. You still got this base, that base, that base. So your eco, 240 versus under 200. Because the enemy, even with their upgraded geothermal, is way behind in overdrive. And currently they're also behind in reclaim. Though of course that is a lot more temporary, so it's always a bit of a weird thing to take into account. Push on this side, still not really being stopped. There are a couple of M-pods there for Team West, who is slowly but surely turning into Team North. And those blast wings, I mean, you can try. And I don't really see any what do you call those again? Zephyrs. But yeah, bombing, a grizzly, an assault unit. Not exactly what you're supposed to do. Not exactly what an area of effect weapon is supposed to hit. And in the middle, well, Commander, the Press Master, level 4, still just holding its own, not really caring about that Inferno all that much. Here though, that's double Firewalker getting cleaned up, because there are no defenses here. Still, well, same thing. Cerberus, yeah, no defenses, meaning that a 2300 metal invested Cerberus is just going to get cleaned up by a couple of ducks. Lucifer trying its best, but of course behind the terraform it's not able to hit those ducks. Triple siren, no, quadruple siren from Team East moving in. Getting bombed by ravens. I mean, not the strongest, but yeah, oh, badly don't even take that one down. Envoys have to do it. Still, that's 4800 value in envoy. That can easily get sniped. Just send a couple of your scallops that way. Can't really get hit by the envoys. Might even be invisible. I mean, it's not as if the sonar is all that good on them. Or like the vision is all that good. Sonar? What is your sonar technically? 660. So yeah, same as your sight. But yeah, doesn't have that good vision. And well, there they come. Cloaked Charon snitches. Strong, very strong, if you use them well. And how many do you have? 6. That's not that many. I mean, it also means your investment isn't all that large. But the enemy is retreating already. Relatively spread out. But hey, what do we have there? Well, yeah. Team East has pretty much just abandoned this position. So that's all of a sudden not under control for them. No M-spots close by either. Yeah, 2 grizzlies, but that's not a whole lot of M-spots. Not exactly great against, well, 6 buoys, 6 scallops and all that. So yeah, not exactly as if those 2 grizzlies are easily able to take that position back on their own. Still, with the Infernos, all of a sudden that might be a different story. There they come. Infernos, well, 1, 2 and 3. Suddenly you can't really keep your buoys stationary, which means that they cannot shoot. And the scallops as well are retreating. Suddenly, yeah, good job with the Infernos, with the grizzlies. You have taken the position back. This time, hold it. Hold on to that position. It's a valuable position. It's like 7 more maxes. And a pretty easy spot for the enemy to just launch an attack from. Especially because, for now, they still have pretty much the entire middle under control. So, cloaked Charon snitches. So I went back and they killed us. Not sure what you're talking about, but it's fine. Anyways, those snitches. Are they able to do anything? Well, they're going to try. Let's just look at the attrition there. That is a 1600 value made for Team East and only 600 lost. I believe, something like that. Yeah, not exactly the best fight there. Like 900 lost most likely. Here though. Hey, that is better. A lot better for those couple of blast wings. So yeah, cloak snitches. Very nice, but not exactly effective against spread out, high HP targets like Siren. I mean, a clump like this. Now that's where you would like to use it. Or even against a lot of clumped up scallops. Something like that. Can work nicely. But not really against envoys. Or like Sirens. Ships are just too large, too bulky. To really do all that much damage with those snitches. By now Team East also upgrading at least one of the geothermals. So still way ahead in that energy. Even though, well, 2 upgraded geothermals on this side, but yeah, that's a good wind farm. And because these are titles, they are static energy generation. Always 1.2 energy each. More cloak snitches, or Charon snitches. You're going to try once again. I mean, I don't hate it. Mostly just because I like the look of it. It's just that I don't think it's going to be worth it. But hey, that's not what it's all about. Though at the same time, you are one of the highest ranked players. So I would like to see you be efficient. Because otherwise the enemy has suddenly a lot more eco, a lot more map control, or at least in terms of those outside areas. So yeah, if one of your highest level players is either AFK or not doing a whole lot, at least not efficiently, it's going to be a lot more difficult for your team to win. Still, this time you threw the snitches. They seemed relatively efficient, and with all of the reclaim that's there now, it might have actually been worth it. And look at that! Team 1, the blue team, voting to resign. I don't really know why you would resign in this situation. I really don't. But I guess they're just a little afraid of how much position map control they've lost in the middle, I guess. That's the only real area where they're actually struggling. And a little bit up north as well, though. Still, let's take a look at the eco. Eco, for now, still better in total for Team East. And total value, they're still pretty much perfectly even with the enemy. In army, they're actually technically slightly ahead. So, yeah, no real reason to resign right now. Enemy Trinity is going up very soon. Just a couple hundred more. And you are now getting pushed quite heavily on this side. How many units are you able to capture with your reef? Seems like the answer is no, because of the amount of anti-air the enemy has. And goodbye Commander number 1, goodbye Commander number 2. Nice snipes there with Modgy's Ravens. And that's another reef, 1,000 invested already, gone like that. Next reef, I mean, really needs to retreat a little further, just to get those drones up and then send them in mass. Because sending in one by one, yeah, those Zephyrs are just going to chew them up. Of course, the drones being changed recently, relatively recently, to be capture drones rather than damaging drones. But yeah, reef also just getting cleaned up. Not what you want to see. Crow coming in from the happy Marquis. What kind of anti-air do they have right there? Yeah, they do have some anti-air. They've got a couple of razors in the water. They've got a good number of Zephyrs. So it's not exactly the easiest thing for the Crow to engage. Especially with like multiple stingers, like 4 stingers there as well. But hey, maybe if you just send it in, do a little bit of damage, send it back out, repair, you can still make it worth it. Also, I would like to just see, well, alright, so it seems like Modgy, yeah, that's Modgy, is going to try and at least scout, possibly take down a couple of wind generators, or like tidal generators there. I mean, they are quite clumped up, so would be nice to just see all of those go down. Are you able to send something in there though? Difficult. Don't really see it happening right now. Crow, halfway, or like 50% HP thereabouts. Yeah, that's already a lot more damage suddenly. Will it survive? Just barely, it seems like. 3000 HP, but it will stay up. Number of mysteries on this side, very good. So of course, high AoE, high damage is going to be nice against this, but there are a couple of envoys there from their team as well. Modgy's Air Force, what is it going to do? Not really sure right now. But Team East has now, once again, rebuilt this third base. Has also at least destroyed a lot of the maxes in the middle. Has been pushing in the middle. So yeah, the eco from Team West, not amazing. Currently with the reclaim it is technically ahead. But yeah, at least in the potential eco with a lot more overdrive. A lot more maxes under control. Team East eco really should be a whole lot better. But they definitely do struggle in a couple of areas. I mean, over here, difficult to push with all of those urchins here. I mean, urchins, shields, yeah, nothing you can really do about it there. And on the other side, of course, a lot of amphipods, a lot of ships. So also not the easiest to push. If you would have your blast wings and grizzlies help out though, that could definitely be a different story. I mean, that combined with that, value of 25,000 versus 18,000 from the enemy, of which a decent amount is anti-air, though You also have a couple of anti-air units here. Like, yeah, 2400 worth of anti-air. And there they come once again. Cloaked, Charon, Snitches. Against, this time around, not as high HP, clumped up ships. Alright. Was it worth it? Yes. 1400 lost, 4000 damage, or like value destroyed. Follow up with all of those blast wings. Suddenly 2600 versus 8000. In total, Team West attrition is still in the negative, at less than 100%. But yeah, that was definitely a very good engagement there. Suddenly seemingly pushing the units back a little bit, though they don't really have a follow-up themselves. So yeah, regroup, repair, and then you can just hold the position still. And there is a lot of reclaim. If you get all of the reclaim, all of a sudden it's still an even trade. Not great, but still even. On the northern side, Asd building a nice little tidal generator field of their own, just like Team East has over here. And yeah, a couple of Swifts, that's the issue. Swifts don't have enough DPS. If you were able to get a couple of Locusts there, would be very nice. But of course that is not the easiest thing to do. Though I will say, I do see a line. Because there isn't a whole lot of anti-air. You've got one chainsaw here. And there is one razor there. Yeah, either like going along like that. I feel like you can get those gunships there. But of course, that is with perfect information, which they of course do not have. They only know a little bit. But still, you could scout that with a couple of Swifts, and then you would at least know they don't have that much anti-air. Air Force from Maji, once again, very good. At least 18 planes. I see a couple that I haven't selected, so yeah, quite a lot. And all of them with ammo. And there goes, nuke launch, but we did already see them have a couple of anti-nukes. Still, only one anti-nuke is actually up. And what that means is that we're suddenly going to have a nuke blast a hole in the middle of the map. There it comes, and Maji immediately following up with those airplanes, going through the nuclear blast into the enemy base. What do they have over here to destroy? Of course, missile silo is not a bad thing to destroy. Advanced geothermal, not a bad target either. Anti-nuke, also not bad, though. Yeah, I mean, really not bad. I don't know. Do you have another missile already up? No. 30 more seconds. If that was up, it would have been really nice. Because this anti-nuke is only now constructed. The other one still ongoing. This one just barely starting, of course. So yeah, didn't really look at how much value, but from 95% to 103. Also on the side, yeah, there it is. You have a lot of energy income, which gives you a lot of overdrive. But you only had like 2 urchins in this entire field to defend it. Hello there, nuclear blast. Issue is, this anti-nuke is online, which also covers this. And yeah, I was about to say, I don't see a stun, and there it goes. A boom. Nuke not going to land. It is defended against. Very nicely done with the anti-nuke. And hey, I mean, it's not the line I would have chosen, but hey, still, you managed to get a strong gunship in here. facing off against hunters, torpedo units, so no anti-air on those. Yeah, it's not the most effective unit against a couple of tidal generators, but hey, it's blasting a hole in them just the same. I was about to say, I hit a lot of raptors. Where are they? Well, they are in the enemy base. I mean, that's fine. Destroying a couple of blast wings while they're still on the pad is nice. Don't really think it's worth it though. But I mean, that's not really what it's all about. Not always. And this time around, Crow is going down. Goodbye, Crow. Oh, that's a good old lance force. 6 lance at least. With more coming in. Still, a lot of defensive value there. With a lot of shield as well. Total of like 30,000 shield. So yeah, not really something they can easily take down. A lot of HP in front as well. So even if the shield does get pierced, the air Aegis themselves don't go down yet. But still. I mean, losing a couple of sirens is still costly. So you don't really want to use them as a mechanical shield. And eco for Team West still struggling. Even though, yeah, you took down a lot of eco over there. A lot of energy eco. The enemy will be reclaiming. Still has a lot of energy. So is still overdriving quite a lot. Yeah, with that reclaim and the overdrive. Still even or ahead of your eco. Especially because they still have more map control and thus more maxes. Which are also linked up very well. Shields over here though, I was like, wow, 30,000 shield. That's a lot, sure, but the sirens moved out of the shield, all of a sudden making them a lot more vulnerable. Grizzlies, high burst damage, so we're also able to pierce the shields quite nicely. Suddenly, Team West doesn't really have a lot. That's not a great Shockley. Blast Wings going to try once again. It's just, again, not designed to face assaults. High HP units, like 8700 HP on a Grizzly. Yeah, it's just not enough. Couple Blast Wings, not enough. Shogun, artillery, not really good for the DPS. I mean, not when you look at the cost at least. Couple of Blast Wings once again. Or not Blast Wings, Snitches. Trying. May have made cost there. But doesn't really seem that worth it. Over here, Blast Wings, no. Cleaning up a couple of the, well, one of the already heavily damaged sirens. At least it prevents the enemy from healing it back up. And Shogun, well, if it is able to hit those lawns, they all disappear. Only 1000 HP on them. So of course, very quick to go down. And indeed, well, Siren is now targeting them. Not the Urchin, I want the Siren. The Shogun. Not the Siren, the Shogun. 500 damage each of those each of those bullets. Fire in burst of 3 with 3 cannons, so yeah. Easily destroying all of those lawns if they manage to get a hit on. How is your Trinity looking? Well, 1 missile once again in the stockpile. Moji, at least I think that's Moji. Once again scouting, but 3 anti-nukes are online. Where are you shooting? There? There? I mean, there is a lot of value there, sure. Like 15,000 value. It just doesn't seem the most worth it to me. Especially because that Shogun is still alive, that is able to take care of most of the value in lance. And yeah, the nuke hits, it lands, but it doesn't do that much damage. Of course worth it, I mean it's 3600, 3200 for each missile. Yeah, 3240. So still worth it. Still making an opening for your Seawolves. It just doesn't seem like it was the most effective nuke ever. But hey, there is at least a nice amount of reclaim there. They're asking for an EMP or a bomb. Bomb this. Makes sense, but hey, you can also just overwhelm with your hunters. Not really with your Zephyrs, but hey, they might be able to soak up a little bit of damage. Caretakers going down. Factory not going to get constructed either. And you're very close to the enemy air force, or like the airbase. So getting more, or like rearming those airplanes is going to be a lot more difficult suddenly. Good number of amphipods as well. So we'll be able to walk up here. Once again, no real land defenses. Or really, any defenses on land. Don't really see any anti-air either. The only thing is, Trinity is, well, at least walled. So Grizzlies with the direct fire weapons not going to be able to take it down. Just far enough away that the envoys also don't seem to be able to hit it. And Ducks, much like the Grizzlies, are not going to be able to take that Trinity down. So that's an 8,000 metal building that at least for now is going to stay up. Yeah, because you don't have any conscious nearby either, so you can't really take away the terraform. No lobsters either, so you can't lob your units in. So yeah, Trinity stays up. So even though you took the position temporarily, the enemy amphipods will be able to hold the position and the Trinity will stay up. 10 more seconds and the next nuke is up. I don't feel like this is correct. This is the correct way. Also, what is the anti-nukes looking like? Oh, I don't like that. Oh no. Okay, well, let's see it. Do you stun in time? Or is the anti-nuke that you should already know about going to get another kill? And the answer is yes, it will get another kill, because you once again did not stun it. Come on now, it's Mudgy. You are like one of the high level players. You are the teams all welcome player, pretty much. At least one of the high level players there. Why no scout? And it's GG. So Team West already struggling quite a bit through their lack of eco. But with multiple of those nukes also just being taken out by pretty much known anti-nukes, they weren't able to get a comeback going.